Well, my. Look at y'all. It's been a while, ain't it? It's been a while. When was the last time I saw you? What's your name again? I know the face. I can't place the name. Brooke. Oh, I know. Last time I saw Brooke was Christmas 1967. Remember that, Brooke? Brooke's whole family came and stayed with me and Pappy on the farm. You remember that? We went on that road trip. We spent a night in the sticks, and then we spent a week up at the Mall of America. And you ate your whole body weight in peanut butter. You remember that? You still like peanut butter? Brooke ate so much peanut butter for the whole next year. Whenever we ran out of peanut butter, we just gave Brooke a skipping rope. Had to jump just a little bit, build up a bit of a sweat, run that bread along that arm. That's free peanut butter. I'm glad you could make it tonight. I'm glad all y'all could make it tonight. About you right here. When did I last see you? What's your name? Jimmy. Oh, I know Jimmy. Thanksgiving, 1943. You remember Thanksgiving? The 6 of us went down to McDonald's for Thanksgiving dinner. We got one burger. Cut it up 6 ways like a pizza. It's called wartime rations. You didn't get enough pickle. You asked for an extra pickle, and they said no. You still sore about that pickle, Jimmy? You got to let that pickle go. It's tough, though, letting the pickle go. 43 was the Thanksgiving that Danny Ray said she saw a ghost. Danny Ray said she saw a ghost. And Tara said she was lying. Is Tara here tonight? Terry said she's going to be here. Is Terry up the back? I know Danny Ray ain't here because she died a year later. The horse named Star Pickle kicked her in the chest and her heart stopped just like that. Just like that. Just done. Because Danny Ray said she didn't care for the Beatles' White Album, but Star Pickle was quite partial to George Harrison. Gave her a good old kick, and she didn't last too long. I see you're a little confused by that. The horse was named Star Pickle because it looked like a cross between a star and a pickle. I don't mean a star, though, like a astrological star. I mean like a Hollywood star. Like Audrey Hepburn. You know Audrey Hepburn? From Breakfast at Tiffany's? Or maybe like Marilyn Monroe. And I don't mean a pickle like Jimmy's pickle. I mean a pickle like a conundrum. A few of y'all are thinking Hollywood star, conundrum, they're basically the same thing. Damn straight they are. Pappy named every single one of his horses in the most tautological way possible. That was how, anyway, Jimmy, I'm glad you could be here. What's your name? Sarah? Ella. 1853 at Uncle George Crumb's Halloween party. You remember that party, Ella? You remember Uncle George? You should. He bought you them shoes. I said, I'm glad you wore them tonight. That's respect. You've looked after them. Those shoes are old. Old shoes, 170 years old. They look quite modern, all things considered. So that 53 was the year Uncle George Crumb invented the potato crisp. That's a fact. You can look that up. He looked at the potatoes and he said, they're healthy, affordable. You can eat them quite quickly. And he fixed all 3 of those problems in one go, didn't he? That's called capitalism. Uncle George Crumb. That was the year we saw that party. We saw them aliens. Can I get a show of hands, everyone in the crowd who's seen aliens? Yeah. I mean, it was a pre-release copy of the film, but I'm good friends with the director, James Cameron. He gave me the director's cut. Told me it was 40 miles a bad road. I believed him, too. Anyway, glad you could be here, Ellen. I know you, too. Philadelphia, right? 1787. Katrina, is that it? Yeah, that's right. Katrina stayed with me and Pappy for 2 months in Philadelphia. So Pappy was signing the Constitution. Some of y'all are thinking, surely that was 76. No. Those were the Articles of Confederation. 11 years later was the Constitution. And for y'all young people who don't know what the Constitution is, it's basically a new Bible. Right? Because Jesus said, don't hurt nobody. Constitution says you can shoot them if you want. You know? Maybe it's not a new Bible. Maybe it's just a third book we added on at the end. Because what happens at the end of the New Testament? Jimmy, what happens? Judgment Day, right? Judgment. This is another James Cameron film. Right, anyway, I'm glad to see all of y'all. I'm going to have to get out of your way now. But I want y'all to make some noise for the next person to come on stage. Put your hands together for all the way from London, England, Mr. Davy Bluetooth. All right. All right. Good to be here, huh? Good to be here. What you do today?
Just work.
Just worked. You know what I did today? I was in the studio making records, making hits. My name is Davy Bluetooth. I'm a famous rapper, writer, poet, playwright, environmentalist. I grew up poor, South London. It's hard. So poor growing up. My father used to smoke asbestos cigarettes. 6 packets a day of asbestos cigarettes. My mother, rest her soul, used to snort silica dust off the back of a great ape. We had a gorilla in the basement. She used to shave it once a week and snort silica dust off its back. That's how poor we were. Didn't know that stuff was bad for you back then. You remember asbestos cigarettes? They're illegal now. They took them off the market when they found out they give you cancer. Right? Can't let a company profit off death, right? Government's better than that, right? So I'm in the studio all day, every day with my producer, DJ Sticks. We're like family, we're tight, we're like brothers. But a few years back, we had a fight, we had a falling out, we had a beef. We didn't have a bath together for over 18 months. You know what that means when you don't have a bath for 18 months? It means you stink. I smell awful. I smell horrible. But I'm a grown man. DJ Sticks is a grown man. We came together, we squashed the beef, became friends again, got back in the water, back in the bath, clean now. Been clean now for 2 years. Every day it's a struggle staying clean. So I'm in the water, in the bath, looking for the soap, and there ain't no bars of soap. Just liquid soap, like the Wu-Tang Clan with the liquid swords. No bars of soap, just bars of rhymes, because I'm a poet. From the page to the stage for my wage. That's right. So I grab the liquid soap and I try to make up a lather. Trying to play snakes and ladders in the bath. You ever play snakes and ladders in the bath, sir? Of course. I've got aquariums back home with anacondas in them. I milk a python a day, sometimes 2. Milk bottles full of snake venom in my fridge. I'm pouring them on my cornflakes. Snakes on flakes. Trying to turn cold-blooded, fix global warming by lowering my own body temperature, 1 man at a time. We've got to do something. You doing anything to fix global warming? You know what else I'm doing? Just no, straight. You're like, oh, no. No, of course not. Oh, I taught a monkey how to fly a kite. I put a lightweight solar panel on top of the kite. Use electric cable instead of a string and attach the whole thing to a giant battery. I've got 70,000 electric solar kite monkeys all around the globe. From Cairo to Oslo, Borneo to Glasgow. Once we reach 1 million monkeys, we will be fully sustainable. Then we can just burn coal for fun. As God intended. I'm also trying to keep an eye on the rainforest, but it's hard keeping an eye on the rainforest. 1 man. It's hard, especially at night. It's dark. So I've installed streetlights in the rainforest. They're maintained by my trained giraffes. But these giraffes only speak Greek. They're fluent in Greek. They only eat Greek salads. Picture that. Greek giraffe chefs. Cooking gourmet delights in between rainforest streetlight maintenance. You know the #1 rated TV show in the rainforest? MasterChef. Giraffe edition. We call it Giraffe to Chef. It's judged by 3 of my electric solar kite monkeys who speak Greek. Still flying their electric solar kites. Judging Greek salads. And each week it's just Greek salads getting made. No variation, it's the same Greek salads getting made every day. By giraffes in blue overalls and chef hats. Ducking out during the ad breaks to fix all the street lights powered by the solar kites. All this going on, I can't sleep. People say, Davy, you're drinking too much coffee. How much coffee you drink every day? A lot. How many cups? 4. I got 4 down the front. Do I hear 5? 4 going once. Do I hear 5 over here? Do I hear 6? 5, 6 in the front row. Do I hear 7? 6 going once. 7. Hardcore. Have we got an 8? Round of applause to the 7 over here in the front row. Unfortunately, we have not met the reserve. I'm drinking 25 cups a day. The UK Heart Foundation said, my heart's going to be all right. It's all good. Funny thing is, I never used to drink coffee. No alcohol, no drugs, no stimulants. I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to play for Chelsea in the Premier League. So all I did was practice football my whole childhood. But age-old story, right? 18 years old in a pub at my mate's 18th birthday. And across the room, I see the most beautiful girl I ever seen in my life. We lock eyes and she walks straight up to me. Straight up. She says, go and buy me a drink, Ed. And I'm like, babe, I ain't got no cash. She says, what do you mean you ain't got no cash? You look like the kind of geezer that should be minted. I'm like, sweetheart, I train football every day. My father's in the hospital, bad lung. My mother's just passed, silica dust up the nose. The gorilla pays all the bills. And she stepped closer and she said, how about I buy you a drink then? So I had my first ever drink with Stacey that night. Stacey and me were together for 2 or 3 years, long enough for me to drink away my football career. She started drinking when she was 14 to forget things she wished she hadn't seen. By 19, it was white wines with lunch, beers with mates after work, and vodka to help her sleep at night. By the time she was 26, she looked 35. When she was 29, she got real drunk one night. Real drunk. Went out, got in the car, and wrapped herself around a pole. 3 weeks later, Stacey and her new Polish boyfriend. They emigrated to Europe, and I ain't heard from her since. So whether it's drinking coffee or thinking of drinking with Stacey, I can't sleep. Only way I can sleep is in the passenger seat of a car. So I catch an Uber every night for 8 hours. You know how much that costs? Too much. I'm on the curb, 11 p.m. every night, Ugg boots, dressing gown, Stephen Fry audiobooks to calm me down. I've got my teddy bear, my childhood teddy bear. It's in a hazmat bag because of all the asbestos fibers. Actually makes it warmer to hold. Right, insulation, right? Uber pulls up. I get in. And the faster he goes, the better I sleep. It goes under 60, I have a fucking nightmare. Asbestos cigarette nightmares, gorilla silica dust nightmares. How many gorillas you got in your basement? Only 2. Only is a very interesting word. What type of gorillas are they? Housemates. Fair call. That's quite good. They say do what you love in life, so I've started my own coffee business. I love coffee. You understand, right? I love coffee. It's called honest coffee. Do you know the most dishonest coffee? Airplane coffee. Because you're sitting there half asleep, the lights are dimmed in the cabin, long haul flight, and you smell it before you see it, right? I'm going to get me some of that, right? And the plane is traveling at 1,000 kilometers an hour. That coffee cart is traveling 1,000 kilometers an hour. It still takes 35 minutes to travel 15 meters down the aisle, right? And it finally gets to you. It finally gets there. They pass you the cup of coffee, you smell it again, and you taste it, and it's bin juice. No greater chasm exists in life between expectation and realization with airplane coffee. It's like a metaphor for life. I'm trying to invent new forms of coffee. Bear coffee. Give my coffee a little... Splicing the DNA of a bear with a coffee bean. It didn't work. Just ended up with a coffee-flavored bear. It's the same as a normal bear, it just can't hibernate. Right? Until you have seen a coffee-flavored bear cry herself to sleep at 3 a.m. watching polar bears on a David Attenborough documentary, you don't know sorrow. It's the saddest thing you'll ever see. I'll let you in on a secret about coffee, though. Caffeine is a myth. Did you know that? Ella, did you know caffeine's a myth? Coffee beans are magical. They absorb the life force of the third world slaves who picked them. So when you get a decaf, those beans were picked by a child or an old person or someone who lost their leg in a landmine, right? Right? You're like, oh, I'll just get a decaf. I don't want to stay up too late tonight. First world problems, right? No such thing. We've got any vegans in the house tonight? Make some noise. Come on, vegans, make some noise. I heard like a murmur. Any lapsed vegans in the house tonight? Stacey was a vegan. I wrote this for her. The grass outside is green and yellow, and it's swaying back and forth like it's waving hello. But what if wind wasn't causing that grass to sway? Instead, it was caused by music from far away. Imagine, sounds from outer space, unheard by the human race, was making plants dance, creating motion instead of the moon and the air and the ocean. Trees dancing to intergalactic songs generated by aliens all along. But plants don't matter, do they? Apples don't ask, beetroot doesn't bark, carrots can't cry, cauliflower won't commiserate, dates don't dance, eggplant won't entertain, figs don't fuss and fennel doesn't fret, ginger can't grip, herbs can't hiss, ivy has no eyes and jalapenos can't jump, kale can't canter, lettuce doesn't leap, limes won't lick and mushrooms don't meow, unless you take the right ones. Nashi pears never kneel, onions don't offer, potatoes don't pander, parsley rarely peeks, rhubarb won't react, spinach never speaks, strawberries can't stare, tomatoes can't talk, ugly fruit isn't ugly, and avocados can't walk. Watercress refused to wash. X-fruit doesn't exist. Yuzu is not young and zany or young and brainy, and zucchini is never zany. But these plants are living, they're alive, so I refuse to eat them anymore. I refuse. But I found a solution, I found the key. I'm the world's first pianotarian. From C major to F sharp, I never feel hungry because I always feel the melody. A classic concerto for breakfast. A Fiona apple pie for morning tea. A Billy Joel ballad at lunch and a Ben Folds 5 B-side at 3:30. For dinner, a real winner. I'll find a baby grand and I'll eat that whole thing from the strings to the stand. Whether I'm living on water or land, I ate a piano-based diet and I just use my hands. Thank you. So, people say to me, Rob Anthony, how is the motivational speaking going? And I say to them, I don't know. I don't know. I am not a motivational speaker. I'm a hyper-motivational speaker. They ask my advice. They say to me, Rob, I don't have enough time. And they say to me, Rob, I don't have enough money. And they say to me, Rob, if only I had more time, I'd have more money. And they say to me, Rob, if only I had more money, I'd have more time. Do you know what I tell them? Right here. The same thing I'm going to tell all of you right now. Are you excited? You're so pumped. What's your name? Elise. Be excited. I tell them, time isn't money isn't real. Time isn't money isn't real. That was an alarm clock. You just woke up. All of you now know as much as anyone has ever known about economics, about physics, and about happiness. Your life is a film. Who's the set designer on the film of your life? Become the set designer on the film of your life. Elise, who's the caterer on the film set of your life? Correct. How many donuts are left at 6 p.m. every night on the catering table on the film set of the film of your life? None. How many were there at 10 a.m.? Too many. I need to know. This is not a rhetorical question. You know the old rhetorical question, how many donuts are left on the catering table at 10 a.m.? How many donuts, Elise? 10. That is your donut equation. 10 to 0. Elise, you need to write this down. You need a diary. And she's lucky, because I'm selling them at the door. Officially branded. $25 5-year diaries. They are this thick. Do you know how thick that is? No. It's too thick to ignore. It's too thick to ignore. The best thing about these diaries, too, is they are a page per day. 5 years, Jimmy, how many pages is that? Work it out. And the first page on every diary out there is today's date. That's how confident I am that I'm going to sell every diary I brought with me tonight. You're all getting one. We've forgotten how to use our imagination to dream about our own imagination. We've lost the metaphor. Do we even know who our great-great-grandmother is? Or was? What was her favorite song? What was her favorite ice cream flavor? Did she know how to swim? Maybe she lived in a landlocked country. You all need to climb your own family tree. And then dive off that tree into the ocean of your own future. And then dive down to find the key to unlock your great-great-grandmother's landlocked past. At least you're going to take that diary when you get home, and on the first page, you're going to write, time isn't money, isn't real. And then you're going to write, I have no donuts left on my catering table. Who's the accountant on the film set of your life? Who's the creative accountant who's going to make sure you don't have to pay royalties on everything you've ever stolen? Who's the makeup artist? It's not me. That is not my job. It's not my job. What's your name right here in the white hat? Pat, congratulations. Congratulations. You're now the executive producer on the film of your own life. What's your name right here?
John.
John! You're the sound designer on the film set of your own life. On the edge, what's your name?
Harry.
Harry! You're the gaffer on the film set of the film of your own life. And Ella. Unfortunately, your film did not get financed. Because I could see in your eyes, she wasn't going to buy a diary. Without that diary, you can't climb that tree to dive off into the ocean to get the key to unlock your great-great-grandmother's landlocked past. But don't cry. Everyone calm down. Relax. We can fix this. On your way home tonight, I want you to go past a playground with a swing. Do you like apricot delights? Good. Because you're going to count to 500 apricot delights on that swing. If you put in the work, you will get the rewards. Time isn't money, isn't real. Your life is a film, and you can write the script in those diaries I'm selling at the door. Hi. 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 My name is Simon Thröpp. I'm a hacker. I'm a life hacker. Guys at the back, listen. Hi, Simon. Yeah. I'm a life hacker and a body hacker. I'm a self-optimizer. I am the world's first 100% optimized human being. Yeah? Yeah. Listen. You've probably seen, Simon Thröpp, you've probably seen some of my hacks on my website, www.throptimization.com. First hack, shoes. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Listen. All love shoes. Everyone wearing shoes. Love wearing them, love buying them. Hate taking them off. Tiring, untying shoes, yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Instead of laces, use spaghetti. Get home at night. Don't take your shoes off. Put them straight into a pot of boiling water. Bit of salt, bit of oil. 6 to 8 minutes later, al dente. Spaghetti weaves its way out, feet come out of the shoes. Listen, guys, hi, Simon, yeah? Dinner, hacked. Shoes, hacked. Next up, right here. What's the most optimal amount of sleep?
7.5 hours.
Wrong. Close. 8. 8 hours, 100% optimized. Almost. 8 hours, 1/3 of the day. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Listen. Simon, right? 100%. So, 1/3, 8 hours. Even more optimal, 1/3 of an hour. Sleep for 20 minutes, awake for 40 minutes, awake every hour of the day. Even more optimal, at the back, listen. Simon, huh? Guys, listen. Even more optimal, 1/3 of every minute. Awake every minute, 20 seconds asleep, 40 seconds awake. Yeah? Yeah. Even more optimal is if you can... The most optimal way of... For 1 out of 3 seconds. Yeah? Yeah. Sleep, hacked. Guys, listen. Simon, yeah? Simon Thröpp. 100%. Home repairs. Hate home repairs. Broken tiles on the roof. Hate fixing broken tiles. Don't call a tiler. Get up on the roof with cornflakes. Sunny day, cornflakes and honey, mix them together, patch up the hole, yeah? Hardens in the sun. Another layer, cornflakes, honey, bit of coconut, delicious. Hacked. Do we have any dancers in the room tonight? Are there any dancers in the room? Everyone looking at each other like, am I a dancer? I saw that. Do we have any dancers in there? Any dancers? You a dancer? Kind of. She break dances. I'd say that's a dance. What's the most important thing about dancing? Wrong. It's breath. Yeah? Any dancer can look amazing for 5 seconds, for 10 seconds, for 15 seconds, but if you're not breathing correctly, you begin to look slack. You begin to look sloppy. You begin to look weak. If you're not dancing, you're not living an optimized life. If you're not dancing, you're falling apart. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to God. And you're lying to the rhythm. When life is optimized, you can find the rhythm in all things. It's morning. That first breath, you breathe in and out. That is your optimized breath. When a baby is born underwater, it can already swim. When a buffalo is born in the fields, it can already run. Baby born swimming, buffalo born running, and we are born every day breathing. Yeah? Yeah. Listen. Every night a death, every morning a breath. Wake up and go for a swim. In the air. Feel the rhythm of your breath and let that rhythm become your breath, and that transfers into all things. Optimized life is a dance, and dancing through life is the only way to reach optimal rhythmic engagement with the universe. It's not about dancing on a dance floor, which is also optimal, but it's about dancing everywhere except for a dance floor. So everyone, breathe in now, catch the rhythm, hold, flow with the rhythm. We can flow better than that. Flow, hold, we're going to start again. Everyone, reset, catch the rhythm, flow with the rhythm, and release. And let it come back. Catch, flow, and release. One more time, catch, flow, and release. Optimal rhythm through engaged breathing. Yeah? And you can read more about finding your optimized dance breath in my new dance book, Thröpp That Beat. Available at www.throptimization.com, where you can also buy my psychology manuals. Throppelganger, The Duality of Self. Thröpp Circles, The Alien Within. Breakfast cereal home repairs. Snap, crackle, and a throp. My insight into the criminal mind. Throps and robbers. My marriage guide, relationship guide. Thröpp in the name of love. And every purchase on the website comes with a free, and you'll like this, a free PDF download of my optimized Kama Sutra. Thropping wet. Hey everybody, so my name's Marlon M'Logne. Marlon M'Logne. I'm a club comic from New York City. I'm half Irish, half Italian. I said, I'm half Irish, half Italian. It usually gets more. Usually. I come from a big family. Family's very important to me. Who here comes from a big family? Make some noise, anybody. Right here. How many people you got in your family, man?
5.
5? 5 children?
Yeah.
Are you one of the children?
I am. That's why they're my family.
Some people have their own children, though. They're the parents. That's cool, though. That's cool, though. Where do you fall in that list?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Have you got a favorite sibling? You can say it. It's okay. Are they here tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's... It's about to ask, how come it's your favorite sibling? But I know why already. I know why already. I come from a big family. I got 17 brothers and sisters. I got 9 brothers, 8 sisters, you know. A lot of siblings. But my favorite sibling is Barney. My brother Barney. Dude's 6'6". Big beard, you know, weighs 350 pounds. He's a paramedic. He saves lives. He's the kind of guy, he walks in a room. People trust him. If there's a problem, Barney solves the problems, right? What I'm trying to say is, he fucks a lot. What are you going to do? He's a sensitive guy, right? He reads 2 books a week. 2 books, same book, one's forward, one's backwards. You ever read a book backwards, Jimmy? You know the alphabet backwards? You used to. Like ZYX, WV, UTS, RQP, O1M, LKJ, IHD, FED, CBA. In New York City, if you don't know that shit, those alphabet gangs, they fuck you up. You can't mess with them alphabet gangs. In the 90s, Mayor Giuliani, he took all the gangs off the streets. Those alphabet gangs, they took over. You can't mess with them, man. They always got 26 members. 52 if they go uppercase, you know. 107 if they go phonetic, you know. You always know who the leader is, always know who the alpha is, though, you know. Anyway, so Barney, I love him to death. He's a generous soul, a giving spirit, you know what I mean? Like, gives me these crazy gifts. Last Christmas, he gave me a psychic calculator. It's the thought that counts. Right? And then he gave me Dracula's philosophy book, The Count That Thinks. He's real religious, too. Goes to church every week. Sometimes he drags me along, you know. Barney's so religious. His church has got one of those signs out the front, too, with the interchangeable letters. You know the ones I'm talking about. They say, like, inspirational things like God redeems, or Jesus saves, or we won't hurt your children anymore. They're getting real desperate with all this shit going on. These days it just says, free Wi-Fi. And they continued that theme when you go inside. They're rebranding. It's not even called a church no more. It's just called a mass storage device. Right? Makes sense, though, for Christians to be with the internet and, you know, digital and all that shit, right? Because what happens when a Christian dies? Their soul gets uploaded to the cloud, right? Anyway. So you got five kids in your family. How many cousins you got? You got a lot of cousins, too?
Oh, yeah, heaps.
Oh, yeah.
One of 5, dad's one of 7.
So is that 35 or is that how many cousins?
Oh,
You don't even know.
about 30.
That's a lot. Not knowing is more than knowing, I reckon. Unless you can't count, you know. A bit of both. That's crazy. I guess it's getting late, so you get that. I got 143 cousins. And from upstate New York all the way down to the Hamptons, every last one of them owns a supplement company. How many supplement companies you own, man? You don't own it? No, how many? Like 1, 2, or 3? How many?
0.
You don't own any supplements? But you think food isn't food? Who told you food was in food? Let me show of hands everyone here who thought food was in food, and now they know food ain't in food. They ain't had no food today. Gotta supplement your food. If you ain't supplementing your food, they can't. That's what the word supplement means, right? They couldn't call supplements if they didn't supplement, right? Crazy. Just gotta remember, food ain't in food. It's ridiculous. Anyone here watch Netflix? Yeah. You seen that show, The Queen's Gambit? A bit. Which bit?
The first bit.
First bit. I like that. Which bit? The first bit. It could be 99% or it could be 1%. You play chess?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not after what happened. Don't bring it up. You ever play chess with the Dalai Lama?
Not recently.
Not recently. Anyone here ever played chess with Lorenzo Lamas? From Renegade? Anyone know who that is? Y'all seen Grease? The movie with John Travolta and Stockard Channing? You know that? So Lorenzo Lamas was the jock that Sandy dates for a little bit to make Danny jealous. You know that good-looking young dude, a bit uncoordinated or whatever? Right? Now, rumor has it, this is what I heard. This stays in this room, all right? That on the set of Grease, Lorenzo Lamas was the one who taught Olivia Newton-John how to squirt. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just what I heard. This is what I heard. Industry gossip, you know what I mean? Who here been to New York City? Anyone here been to New York City? Been to my hometown?
Yep.
Yeah. You been in the last 6 weeks?
No.
Then you ain't really been. City never sleeps. The city always changes. It's called evolution. You believe in evolution?
Yes.
Are you a scientist?
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough. I would love to explore one. What do you mean close enough? What do you do?
I'm an economist.
An economist. Which part of that is close enough? Anyway, so, I mean, I like science. Let me put it this way. I'll take a girl out to dinner, right? But if she ain't a scientist, we're splitting the bill, you know? Anyway, what y'all do here in Canberra on the weekend? What you do for fun on the weekend? What you do? What you get up to?
Not much, just get balloons.
Oh, the hot air balloons. I was like, what the hell is going on in Canberra? I was like, a nitrous oxide and shit. Party animal in the front row. God damn. New York City, we go to the laundromat on the weekend. Go to the laundromat. Sunday mornings, laundromat time. 5 a.m. Every single Sunday, the alarm clock goes off. I'm up quick. And I take the pillow out my pillowcase. How many pillowcases you own, man? 4. I like that you knew that. The first person who's ever actually known exactly how many pillowcases they own. How many thread count are they?
I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize to me. I understand that's an answer. No is an answer. People need to learn that more. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I got 1 pillowcase. Let me put it this way. If your pillowcases are less than 1,000 thread, you're disrespecting your whole family. I got 1 pillowcase, hand woven, 1,000 thread. 5 a.m., I get up in the morning, I take the pillow out the pillowcase, I put, how many threads?
1,000.
And I put 45 potatoes in that pillowcase. And then I hit the street making moves, 10 past 5 on a Sunday morning. Because I got to get down to the laundromat. They open at 5:30. But my laundromat only takes coins. I don't carry coins on me. This is not what I do. Right? So I got to get down to the money machine, take out a 20. Then I got to get all the way down to the newsstand. Buy a newspaper, $3.50. Get some change, get some quarters. You get a lot of quarters. How many quarters is that, Jimmy?
For how much you paying?
It's all good. It's a lot of quarters. So the thing is as well, like, I get all those quarters. You get a lot of quarters and change, right? For $20. That should last me a couple of weeks, right? 2 days later, those coins is gone. I don't know neither. One thing I know is those coins is getting spent. Coins get spent, you know what I mean? So I'm heading down, I got my coins, and I get to the laundromat. And I start peeling the potatoes. I don't use one of the modern peelers. I use a knife. Look at the shoes, you know. So it takes me 25 minutes to peel 45 potatoes. I chuck them in the machine, no soap. I put in the extra quarter for the hotter water. Got to cook them up. I take my mortar and pestle. They don't have mortar and pestles at my laundromat, so I got to bring my own. I wear it on my back like I'm a Ninja Turtle, right? I put in a bit of rosemary, a little bit of Himalayan rock salt, a bit of cayenne pepper, give it a little boom. You know? Grind it all up. Potatoes cook. I get them out. I start mashing them. I put in my herbs and my spices. I put in a bit of butter, and I take it down to Central Park, and I feed the homeless. I feed the homeless, and it makes them feel good. They got a full belly, right? Makes me feel good like I'm doing something. But I don't got it in me to tell them it ain't gonna be enough. It's not in me. I don't have the heart to tell them that the potatoes ain't gonna be enough, because why? Because food ain't in food. That's right. Thank you all very much. So, I bought a scratchy last week, like I do every week, twice a week. Because who deserves winning a little bit of free dosh more than your old mate me, Gareth Mosley? No one. No fucking one. I bought this scratchy. Did you know you can buy scratchies down at the servo? You go in, you park your car, and you go in. Fucking stay with me. You park your car, you put the petrol in the car, you go in, buy the scratchy in there, win your $500, and you can run out and fill your car up. Instead of putting $5 in, like you normally do. Maybe 10. 10 if it's payday, yeah? What is the point of these cars taking $90 of petrol? Who's that for? You can laugh at that because the PC police aren't coming. With their fossil-fueled fear, they're not coming tonight. It's late. PC police go to bed early. So you can have a good old laugh at that. I bought this scratchy the other week. It was a good breath, wasn't it? I bought this scratchy. I didn't even buy this one at the servo, actually, because I usually get them from the servo near my house. I wasn't near my house. I was on the other side of town. I was down in Tuggeranong. I don't live in Tuggeranong. Wouldn't have thought, would you? I live up in Gunners. Near the dog park in Nichols. When I say dog park, I mean the fucking golf course. You laugh at that? Fuck 'em. Rich cunts, yeah? None of them are here. None of you have any fucking money, do you? Yeah. So I'm in Tuggeranong and I find the Condor News Agency, which is the only news agency for fucking miles around. And you'd remember back in the day growing up, there used to be a news agency on every fucking corner. People had news agencies in their fucking garage back in the day. Not anymore. I go straight to the car and bike mags, as usual. And they're all 3 months old because of the fucking internet. Who the fuck is using the internet? It's good for a wank. You can laugh at that. You can have a good old chuckle. Yeah. PC police aren't. Don't worry. No one's going to know. The guy who works there comes over to me and he says, "Are you going to buy any of those?" And I look at him and say, "No, they're all 3 months old." And then I asked him, "How long have you worked in a newsagent for, mate?" And he says, "Oh, about 7 years." And I'm like, 7 years? Jimi Hendrix walks into your guitar shop and you don't know what he's there for. Look at my hand, mate. I'm ready to scratch. I'm ready to scratch. And he says to me, "What kind of scratchy would you like?" And you know what I'm thinking now? I'm thinking this guy's a cunt. I'm allowed to say that. It's just a word. It's just a word. I'm allowed to say it. I'm allowed. It's just a word. And I say to him, "I got $10. Should I get one $10 scratchy or 5 $2 scratchies?" And he says, "Oh, the $10 ones have better prizes." And so I'm like, fine, give me a $10 scratchy. I pay for it, he gives it to me, and I take out my coin. Because I carry a coin. A good luck coin. A good luck scratchy coin. It's a 10 center. You can't use 5. If you're using a 5-cent piece on your scratchies, you need to get down the coast, buy a surfboard, go out and get eaten by a shark. Because dead set, that's terrible. You're fucking shark bait if you're using a 5-cent piece on your scratchies. And you can laugh at that because sharks are fish too. Sharks are fish too. Shark fin soup, you know. If you're using a 5-cent piece on your scratchies, you are shark fin soup. You're a cruel delicacy. Chop your fins off, chuck you back in the water. Who raised you? 5-cent piece on a scratchy. Anyway, I grab my 10, my lucky 10. 10 out of 10. And I start scratching away and I'm like, nothing. Feeling a bit down. I get to the middle, to the big bit, and you always leave the big bits to last. And it's pretty fucking big. It's pretty big. It's twice the size of my phone. For $10. $10 with a 10-cent piece. Bit of poetry for you. Fuck you. So I start scratching the middle bit and I'm scratching away and it says, "Congratulations." And I'm like, oh, fuck. The next part, "Congratulations, you've just fixed the environment." Scratch. "You've just saved the planet." And I say, "Mate, what the fuck does this mean?" And he puts his glasses on. He's like, "Have you just had a win? Oh, my God. You hang on to that tight, young man." Like I was Charlie fucking Bucket. Movie reference, laugh at that. And he gets on the phone and he's like, "Put me through to the Prime Minister." And I'm like, "The Prime Minister? The fuck has he got to do with scratchies?" I know he's got nothing to do with the fucking environment. ScoMo. ScoMo. I'm allowed to say that. It's just a word. Just a fucking word. So I sit down on the Mars bar shelf to clean up the corners of my scratchy like a gentleman with my lucky 10. And he comes over to me and he says, "Sir, I've just confirmed. You've just fixed the environment. You saved the planet." And I looked at him. I looked down at the scratchy. And then I looked at my lucky 10. And I said, thank fuck I didn't use a 5-cent piece. Thank you. Hello. My name is Elon. Elon Gates. I'm from South Africa, from Pretoria in South Africa. I work for SASA. It's the South African version of NASA. Yeah, I'm a rocket scientist. It's one of my passions. I've got a lot of passions, got a lot. Some say too many. Another passion of mine, I work part-time in a Planned Parenthood clinic in the back of my Uncle Martin's casino. 55 hours a week, part-time. I'm very good at it too. I can tell a woman how many eggs she has left just by looking at her face. It's the number of freckles on her face multiplied by the number of acres on her father's farm. Of course, another passion of mine is drinking the red. Got any fans of the red in the crowd tonight? Yeah. What age were you when you started drinking the red?
20.
I was 11. I remember being 11 years old, very strong memory. My father was away at all of the strip mines that he owned. And the cooking staff would come up to me after dinner. I don't know where my mother was. She was on a lot of barbiturates at the time. And the cooking staff, they would show me a menu with 4 items and I had to choose tomorrow night's dinner. They would say, what do you want for dinner tomorrow night? What do you want for dinner tomorrow night, little prince? And I'd always choose the second or third option. Because I wanted it to look like I was making an actual choice. I didn't want to pick the first, because the truth was I couldn't read. You're thinking 11 years old, Elon. It's a bit old to not be able to read. This was 7:30 at night. I could read during the day. But at 6 o'clock after my homework, I went down to my father's wine cellar. I could read then. Merlot. Merlot, I could read then. Half an hour later, I could hardly walk, let alone read. Putting away a bottle at the age of 11, it's hard. Hard work. Got very good at it. It's funny talking about the past, isn't it? Reminiscing about days gone by. Like Mama America at the start of the show, talking about America's past. All of her memories. They're all very nice memories, really. Founding fathers and horses and inventors, you know. None of the children remember any of the slavery, the genocide, the corporate greed. Convenient, huh? Like that country, it's got a very similar past to my own. Not really framed the same way, is it? This country's got a very similar past to my own. In some ways, a very similar present. Quite sad. Anyway, so 11 years old, I'd select the item off the menu and I'd go upstairs to the astronomy tower on the 4th floor. Spend hours, you know, looking up at the stars, wishing I was anywhere except for where I was that night. Because the luxury was there in that house, but there was no love. They often run at an inverse, those two things, luxury and love. It's a very harsh truth. Very harsh and very truth. Like Gareth, you know, he wants that scratchy, right? He wants the luxury. Get $1 million and the whole world's burning down around him, right? He's not really going to win the environment on a scratchy card, is he? Where are his priorities? I don't know. By 14, you know, I was up to 2 bottles of red every night. By the time I was 21, I'd drunk $17 million worth of my father's wine. Very high quality stuff. Very high quality. Probably too expensive, to be fair, for me. At my palate at 11 and 14, not very good. I still know very little about wine. I choose it by the dollar value, not the description. I should know more. What are you going to do, you know? It's hard being, you know, the heir to $1 billion strip binding and strip club fortune, you know? It's not easy. Anyway, so my father, when I was 15 years old, introduced me to another one of my passions, smoking. Do we have any smokers in the crowd? That's what I thought. Anyone who's quit smoking? Oh, so you are a smoker? There's a lot of shame in smoking, isn't there? People don't want to say. It's like a marriage of sorts, isn't it? You know, you put that nicotine ring on your finger. Till death do you part, huh? Tobacco takes those words very seriously. Yeah. Very serious. Very commitment, you know, very. In South Africa, it's like 25-30% of the population smoke. I got over here to Australia and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Almost nobody smokes. I looked up that, found a few articles online. 10-12%, you know. It's a lot better, you know. But then I looked further down the article and it said 42% of Aboriginal Australians still smoke. And I was like, that's not very good. That's still quite sad. And I thought about how the government in the last 2 years is, for something that might kill 5% of the population, closed everything down. And you've got 37% of Aboriginal Australians dying of smoking-related illnesses, and nobody even knows about it. So the government could do more, right? Anyway, getting sidetracked into the serious stuff, right? Anyway, my father, he said to me when I was 15, he said, Elon, you're a man now. It's your 15th birthday. You have to learn either how to ride a horse or learn how to smoke cigarettes. And I said, I want to ride, Papa. I want to ride a horse. And he said, you failed the test, boy. You have to do both. He said, I'm going away for a month to the mines. When I get back, if you don't know how to ride a horse and smoke at the same time, there'll be hell to pay. So that whole next month, I was smoking and a riding and a smoking and a riding. And when he flew back in those days, you could ride your horse all the way onto the tarmac. I rode alongside the plane as it landed. I had a second horse with me, and he climbed out of the plane. No stairs, no ladders, nothing. Onto the horse. He jumped on. I passed him a cigarette. And we rode home together. And as a reward for that, my father gave me my own horse named Blue Bottle. The blue was because, well, the thing is, this horse was sort of a grey-blue colour with golden flecks in her eyes. Actual gold. She was half robot. Cyborg horse. And the blue came from the IBM computer, Deep Blue. A chess computer that beat Garry Kasparov, that's right. So I could play chess with my horse. My father has since passed, but every Sunday night I sit in the sunset with Blue Bottle playing chess, smoking cartons of cigarettes, drinking bottles of wine, and thinking about my father. Thank you very much.